Silent Hill Downpour is a third-person psychological horror game that graced our shelves back in 2012, and is the most recent entry in the Silent Hill franchise. This installment of Silent Hill has its ups and downs. It has horror, creepy atmospheres, and a story that is extremely slow in getting to its ultimate point. Is this a Silent Hill game, or a rushed entry that deserved better? What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome to my review of Silent Hill Downpour. Listen, I just want to put a disclaimer out here. I paid $75 for this game. $75. It's considered a retro title because it came out in 2012, literally 10 years ago. I feel old, which it's insane to me to think that like a game can go for that much. I remember going into a retro shop about a month and a half ago where Castlevania was sold for $200. And keep in mind, it is the original PS1 Castlevania. Like, it was in mint condition. It was beautiful. I wanted to touch it, but they were like, don't do that. So Silent Hill Downpour is a very interesting entry in the Silent Hill franchise. It's one of those ones that doesn't take the traditional route because it holds a very unique take from the rest of the games. And it's strange because, you know, I thought that this was going to be one of those games like Silent Hill 2 where you have a main plot, you have a main kind of like storyline, and you're going towards that storyline. This is very, very different. Like, you can tell how it's going towards like the modern day setting of what video games are right now, because it has like it looks like a dinosaur, but you can see like the rough draft of where things are going gaming wise. When you enter into the game, it has a very rough to start story, and it's very vague. Like, it goes in and it's kind of like undetermined in regards to what the game wants to be and how it approaches itself to the player. The main reason why I think this way, and the main reason why I think that it's very undecided, is the way that it approaches the story and the side quests in general. I've never seen side quests so haphazardly put into a video game as this one. The side quests blend right into what the main storyline is, so the player won't know if it's a side quest or something from the main story unless they look it up on IGN. The game was made up of more side quests than actual story for the main game, so when it comes down to it, the game itself might be 3 hours, but the extra content and the game put together makes up about 10 hours of gameplay. The side quests offer a lot of extra content, and they add a lot of valuable stuff in their own right, but it doesn't really add anything to the story. Like, it's just there. It's nothing that like a part of Murphy's journey or anything like that. The story overall, once it gets to the meat of it, is very good. Quite good. Now, this game poses a lot of really deep, interesting questions that go back all the way to Silent Hill Homecoming, and it's as far as the endings and how the characters become their own pyramid head, because the boogeyman in this game does link back to Homecoming, which I'll explain later. I'm getting ahead of myself, but just so you guys know, it very much links to the other games. When I played this game, nothing really special popped out to me. Nothing made it special until a bit before the end of the game. A child brought up the boogeyman in context that Murphy, our main protagonist/antagonist, might be the bad guy. This is fascinating to me considering the fact that Pyramid Head is referred to as the boogeyman in Silent Hill Homecoming. If Alex in that game got the boogeyman ending, he would in a sense become the next boogeyman, aka Pyramid Head. So the concept of Pyramid Head being the worst part of the person is still a theme, and that's what gave me hope for the rest of the game. Being that this game is very slow to get into the story, I'm talking excruciatingly slow. It moved rather quickly after that part of the game where the child discusses about the boogeyman, but you know, after that revelation, it all went uphill from there. I feel like everything was much more solidified and the game actually had an idea of what it wanted to be. Now, from intriguing plot points of Murphy literally being in his own mental hell, going from one prison to another, if you catch my drift, and unable to distinguish reality from a nightmare, Silent Hill Downpour really gives us an intriguing and very interesting look in the mental state of what it's like to be a person going from that prison cell to a mental prison. With all things considered, this game wasn't half bad in terms of the story. When it comes to controls, it had wasted potential, including, but not limited to, the fact that the controls were very poorly utilized. The controls were cumbersome to the point of almost archaic. I expected better from a 2012 game. Healing system is also something that I had a lot of confusion with, considering the fact that there was nothing to tell you what your health was unless you went to the main menu. If you drop a weapon near an item that you would need, you're screwed. You need to pick up the weapon, drop it away from the key item, and then go back to the key item and pick it up. Besides the questionable mechanics and overall quality of life of the game, the monsters aren't really that Silent Hill, like a guy whose face is ripped in the back and a juggernaut who has everyone in the prison calling him daddy. How riveting. A lot of the art in the game is beautiful and enchanting and created the sense of being lost and a discomfort with the psyche. It's a great thing to achieve in a game that I felt was very much held together with bubblegum and a paperclip. This game really teaches us, if there's really any lesson to be had with this game, that you become what you practice. Literally, try it. Go practice something, you'll become it. There are moments where Murphy will create his own hell because that's what he thinks he deserves. It's kind of like this sadomasochism in a way because he wants other people to hurt for the stuff that's happened to him, but he also wants to feel pain sadistically because he thinks he deserves it. Other times he just creates these illusions of the perfect world, but in Silent Hill, perfection is never something that is attainable. In Silent Hill, you encounter yourself for who you truly are, and then you can possibly get to the other side unscathed, but that doesn't happen for most of the characters in Silent Hill, and that does it. You can be like this hateful murderer that just goes on a rampage and kills a bunch of people, or you can be regretful of your past, holding yourself accountable for what has happened. And while I thought this entry was not the best in the Silent Hill series, it definitely holds its own in a lot of aspects in this game, and it gives a lot of fans more content to theorize over. But you guys, that was it for today's review. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below. I make videos every day on YouTube, and if you guys have played Silent Hill Downpour, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. With that being said, stay casually nerdy, you guys, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye.